Hey everybody, Adam Savage in the cave with Evan and Caitlin. Guys, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you.
So good.
Evan and Caitlin are obsessed with resin. Is that a reasonable thing to say?
We are enthusiasts.
Yeah.
we partake in resin.
It's a very fun material to work with, and you can do a lot with it.
You are bringing into this cave a resin I have not experimented at all with, which is ultraviolet curing resin. That's the reason it's in a black bottle.
Yes.
Yes.
I have never played with this stuff, and I've always been fascinated by it. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is a demo and a lesson.
Yeah, and it has a lot of very specific use cases that are fun. Basically, all resin is plastic precursor, and the way that this plastic links together is it reacts to UV light. So
Gotcha.
you can just put it out in the sun. The sun is a bright, powerful laser that contains UV, but we have a few different UV lights here that will cure it very quick.
So this is something I've never experienced. I've always mixed my resin 1-to-1 or different ratios, and then it sets over a period of maybe 5 minutes to overnight. And that's how it builds its polymer chains.
Yes.
This is doing it all with ultraviolet light.
And it cures at various speeds depending on the intensity of the UV light that you apply.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay.
So you can cure it slower or faster.
And one really cool thing is not only does it have the fast curing, which is great for certain applications, or if you're just very impatient, but also it cannot cure for as long as you want. If you just keep it away from UV light. Unlimited working time.
Until you bring in the ultraviolet rays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is really cool.
So in some ways, it reduces a lot of the time pressure of a ongoing chemical reaction that exists in all other resins.
But it also means that you can't do things like, you can't cast it into a monolithic silicone mold because you can't get light in there.
Yes,
exactly.
There's limits for
and
sure.
a lot of, if you are going to cast it into a mold, you want the mold to be transparent enough that you can shoot UV light at the bottom to make sure it goes all the way through. So there are limitations, but there's also power. So one thing that's really good to do is when you're working with UV lights, you want to make sure that your safety goggles are strong enough to protect you. You can get a little UV test card, and you can flash your UV light at the test card and make sure that you know.
Oh, so you're using the glasses to double check that the UV actually is blocked by the glasses.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So you can tell that this light cured and colored this test card a lot faster than this, which means that it's a lot more intense.
Well, it's called the Beast, and it literally showed up in Amazon as I was ordering this. You sent me this to order, and then it was like, do you want this too? And I'm like, yeah,
of course.
I want something called the Beast.
I get tempted by stuff like that too.
Okay, you need to say how much this costs.
Well, let me show how powerful it is first, and Adam can maybe guess.
Okay.
I'll probably put on a glasses.
Yeah, this is kind of intense.
Okay, so wait a minute. It has a built-in fan.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful.
I got a little carried away.
What is this, $200?
It's $600. That was for a video. What's the video?
Nobody is better than me than coming up with video reasons for buying something expensive and weird.
This is multi-purpose too. I mean, I'm going off track, but you can also cure UV curing wood finishes with this. So if you're working with wood, you can apply this UV curing wood finish.
Justification.
And then you can finish your woodworking so much faster. How long has it been since I did a woodworking project?
A while.
A year. But I think we're ready to go.
We use it for UV resin a lot, so I'll give you that.
So we're going to be adding texture to these two resin pieces.
Okay, these aren't samples of what we're going to do. They're what we're going to affect.
These are just some some old test pieces we had laying around, but we need a resin surface to do this technique onto.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pour out enough UV resin on here to fully coat this.
Yeah.
We're going to blow bubbles in here. We're going to scoop the bubbles on top. The bubbles will transfer their bubble-like texture and create like a dragon skin-like texture in here. And then we're going to cure it.
Dude, everything about that sounds awesome.
Let's do it. Pour the UV resin on here.
All right.
And you just want like a, how thick of a coat do you think, Caitlin?
Oh, like a 16 to an 8.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and you said you have lead acid brushes?
I do have some acid
We can
brushes.
spread it if we want to, but also you can just pour enough resin on there.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good amount, I think.
All right.
And tilt it around to make sure it kind of flows to the edges. But with this, there's no rush on the cure time.
Right, because it's just going to, we're far away from any actual daylight.
Yep.
Okay, so now we take the soapy water. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, this is when we're going to do the very careful maneuver of take a deep breath, take off your mask, and blow.
Oh, right. Here we go.
And then scoop it on here.
Copy. Oh, yeah, hang on. There we go.
Keep going. Go, 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 go. Yes.
All right. So
Pro.
now I take some of these.
Yeah, you can just
Scoop
scoop
it
it
on.
with your hand if you
Oh,
want.
okay.
Apply it on.
Yep.
Looks great. Blast it. Wait.
Oh,
Wait, yeah, you're good.
got it. All right, here we go. Look at that. What? That is crazy. So is that fully set now?
We can bake it in here for a little bit longer
Oh,
if you just
okay.
want to double check. But yeah, that's it.
Wow.
It's just like it's you can leave it for as long as you want, and then
And
whenever
then
you're
we'll
ready,
have
just set it right
Boom.
then. The texture of it, right? The bubbles just like left that deep dented imprint.
They really have. It's super cool. And like, oh wow, yeah, it's totally hard.
Nice.
Dudes, I did not realize there was a way you could cast bubbles. Wow.
And depending on what texture you're going for, you can aim for big bubbles or small bubbles
Right.
or whatever you want.
But I could also see that this, you could do this as a wide sheet, as a matrix for dragon skin,
Yeah.
and then cast a rubber on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
The bubbles would set in, like down into the resin.
Right.
And displace it at all, but it totally does.
But they certainly totally did. Wow.
Let's check the DOCs. Okay, we can
Oh yeah.
All right.
we can take these off if we want to talk easier.
Ooh.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things you could do with this bubble texture or this, technique in general.
That is really cool. And it's just, I love how fast it is.
Yeah.
I did not realize that the ultraviolet setting was that, it feels instantaneous to me.
You're supposed to take about 2 minutes with a normal light, but
But that's why Evan got the big boy.
and I'm not sure if you noticed, like when it was curing, because we did a thick enough pour of resin,
Yeah.
it cooled down a little bit. Did you see the smoke rising?
No. There was smoke
Did you
rising
catch the
from
smoke
Oh my
rising?
gosh. Wow.
There's a little bit.
There's a little bit of
That's why
smoke
we wear the
rising.
masks.
Fair.
We don't want to develop a sensitivity to resin, especially us, because we want to
Oh,
keep on
no.
working with it.
I have worked with people who've got boat builders.
Oh, yeah.
Boat builders a
Oh,
lot.
Yeah. Got to mask up.
Yes. What the audience might not know is that a resin is actually a cumulative toxin. Your body builds it up. And the cruel irony is that the stinkiest crap in the world, polyester resin, your body actually processes and eliminates that beautifully.
Wow.
It's not a cumulative toxin, even though it's the most noxious stuff and it makes me want to vomit when I smell it.
Interesting.
Polyester is totally much safer on that front
Yeah.
than a epoxy resin.
Wow.
Interesting.
I know.
Snacks or pencil?
Let's do pencil. Okay.
All right.
So let's say you're in the workshop and you're using your pencil, and all of a sudden,
You're so strong, you don't know how to handle the
all
pencil.
of a sudden your pencil breaks. And you're like, oh no, it's totally not usable now. How am I going to fix it? UV resin is really great at fixing stuff.
Right.
Ah, okay.
So we're essentially just going to use the tape as a mold box here.
Ah.
Because the UV light shines through this tape.
And again, we're in a
Oh.
rush. This is a workshop emergency. We need a functioning pencil.
How perfectionist are you?
This
Me?
is good. No,
Yeah.
this is-
Oh, it's always situation dependent.
yeah. I think this looks nice.
You're going to inject the UV resin into the void here and use the. Can I use my beast
Yes,
flashlight?
yes,
to
yes,
cure this?
100%.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We justify all purchases here.
Oh, look at that giant needle you've got on the end of that.
That's good for feeding it in.
Yes.
So I think that's a good enough mold box to be able to stick that in and then blast it.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's do it.
All right, now sucking this up through the long needle is a little bit of a pain.
Yeah, it takes a bit.
You kind of gotta.
You gotta do a lot of hydraulic, a lot of pneumatic pressure.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't need a large volume.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
All right, here's the cap for that. Oh, so I get to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, totally doing it. All right, let's see here. There it goes.
And again, there's no rush and time pressure.
Right. I can just make sure it gets everywhere I want it to go.
Pretty good.
It feels pretty good.
And always sand it down or cut it down later.
Right. And then you just bring over this guy.
Oh, blast it.
Now, I guess if I hit this all hardens too, right?
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's fine. Oh,
Just in case.
just in case.
And what's the length of time? Well, it's not a couple minutes. With these big ones, it's faster, right?
Yeah, it depends a lot on the intensity. Do we have that card again?
It's,
Right there.
yeah.
Let's see. It's probably like 30 to 50 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can get it from all sides.
Mm-hmm. We actually have used UV resin to fix things in real life.
Car keys.
Yeah, my brother's car key clicker
Yeah.
was broken. It was a little plastic molded loop where it hooked onto the keychain and it broke. And so we just fixed it with UV resin.
Oh, yeah.
Just cut the mold off.
We did too good of a job on the mold.
Oh. Amazing. Okay, hold on just a sec.
We're good on VOCs. We got it.
All right.
It all cures so fast.
And another good thing about the UV resin is if you have any drips right here,
Yeah.
since the curing agent is in the full thing, there is no unmixed
There's
UV
no
resin.
unmixed UV resin.
You
It's
can
just,
you
right.
just cure any of the drips.
I cannot believe how hard and solid that is. It's gap filling. It's rigid. It's amazing.
It's utility too.
Totally.
And you can now just, if you want,
Yeah, go
with
ahead
that little-
and trim it on down. Oh my God, I'm totally adding this to my roster of materials. Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
so fun.
I feel a little remiss that ultraviolet curing hasn't come into my process yet, but you can be damn sure guaranteed that it is now part of my process.
oh, that's so exciting.
Nice.
Dude, that is, it's amazing. I love that also you kept the brakes separate so
Yeah.
you could see a little bit
It's more
into it.
fun.
That's some good content understanding there. Well done. Amazing.
Another good use of it is just as a glue. So that is like gap filling, that has like some
Right.
mold properties and stuff too. But if you were, for example, making a gem lamp and
Which
you
is
wanted
something
to
we made in the past.
glue together these, let's see, which side should I peel off?
Ah, now I see what you're doing. Oh wow, so you're gonna do resin up the sides of each of those.
Yeah.
Is that and that
Mhm.
will hold the corners together.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's kind of like plastic welding in a way that
Right.
you control. You know
You
what I
can
mean?
tack it.
Because also it's gap filling. Because I wanted to create a situation right here, because this is a situation that we faced. If you wanted to glue this together with, like, let's say that you wanted to use acrylic glue,
Yeah.
you need a full smooth surface contacting another smooth surface in order for them to melt and
Yes.
rebond together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But this,
And with CA glue, you're using that's going to off gas and mar your optical surfaces.
exactly. Whereas
Mhm.
the UV resin is like nicely clear.
And you were saying you can go in and do like 3 dots to tack it and then go in and
Yes.
that's really
So-
neat.
Another thing you can do is with UV resin, just like regular resin, you can squirt it into a cup and mix in like colors. So if you wanted like a neon blue seam
or iridescent,
or iridescent, whatever you want.
And it could just sit there with a color in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you had a carbon black, it would inhibit the setting of it.
Okay, there's
there are limits.
Yeah,
there are limits. We found them before.
You got to whip your eggs to. You got to whip your whipped cream to butter to know how to get whipped cream.
Yes, exactly. All right, so I'll demonstrate on one.
Okay.
And then you can take over and do the next welding.
Oh yes.
So this is when it's fun to have a fast curing thing on hand.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Because what you can do is you can add a drop here. Cure it.
Yeah.
Add a drop here. Cure it. And now...
And just to be clear, yeah, those are already hard.
Yeah, and now you can take your time filling this up.
Oh, yeah. This is how I'm going to rebuild that lamp I made with Matt Parker.
Nice.
All right. Oh, I got some on the face.
I left the protector on the outside.
Oh, nice.
So we can peel it off and it'll be perfect.
Oh, dude. Sorry, I'm nearsighted.
Yeah.
Need to get some prescription UV glasses. That would be nice. I would like that.
I'm going to do the last one.
Yeah.
All right. I really dig your $600 lamp.
Yes!
I think it was a worthwhile expense.
Like
who needs an air fryer?
We use this more. We have an air fryer and we use this way more.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's cover that.
And we're good on VOCs.
Okay, and then you're going to pull out the interior.
I left the skin on this because I figured we might drop it. Here, I'll let you.
Oh,
it's
give me the pleasure. Oh,
yeah. So that's one face.
I love that.
So I can tell that like this little bit is still taking impressions, so it's not 100% fully cured.
Right.
But there you go, all glued up. It's fun to have on-demand curing.
It really is amazing to have on-demand curing, and I don't mean to say this and make it sound like this, but I'm rarely this surprised. I just see so much that this can do for my process. Glue is really difficult for small makers like us because we can't store it for too long. 6 months, everything rots on the shelf. Yeah. And so I end up buying everything in smaller and smaller increments. Yeah. This is...
It won't cure until you tell it to cure.
I love the behavior. I love that obedient behavior.
And it also adheres to just about everything.
Because it's resin.
And you have found, have you found that, what have you found are its limits of adhesion? Or there's stuff it just hates?
Silicone and ultra high density
UHMW. That's what this surface is. Yeah.
UHMW. Anything tries to stick to it, it's like, nah.
That's exactly why I made it the table surface.
It shrugs off everything, including resin. So it's great for making molds out of. But other than that, I mean, resin will stick to fabric. It'll stick to wood.
Plastic.
Now, UV resin isn't best for fabric because once it goes in a little bit, the fabric fibers will block the UV from curing.
Oh.
So
normal resin will stick to fabric though. Resin, it's all over these pants.
What about long term? Do you find that it gets weaker over time? Does long term exposure to UV tend to make it more brittle?
Some UV resins will yellow under direct sunlight. So it's recommended to, if you're going to use them outside, you can put a UV protective coating over them of various sorts. There are lots of clear coatings that have UV protection properties. So that's just something to keep in mind because it is perfectly clear at the beginning, but over time it can weather if you don't protect it.
All right, you have one more thing involving food, I see, and I don't know what it is, and I'm a little nervous.
This is the least practical of any of our techniques that we've shown.
We thought it would show how cool it is first, and then we'd have fun.
Yes. So, what snack would you like to have forever?
Oh, let's do a Frito. The Fritos are my favorite, one of my favorite junk foods.
So, I'm gonna not reach in with my hand just in case you want one of these later, because we just need to do one. So we have a lot of experience.
Here, wait, give me that.
Oh yeah. Wait, can I have one too?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Now, as long as we're having a snack break.
Yeah.
It's always good to eat at your work table.
Yeah.
It's not good to eat at your work table. You're not setting a great example here.
So we have a lot of experience trying to preserve organic things forever. And some of the stuff.
This is a weird goal of yours.
Yes, I acknowledge that it is, but it's also a very fun
out
hobby.
of mad respect.
We've never said that we aren't weird.
And I've never used weird as a pejorative.
So things like chips work super well for that because they are dry, meaning they don't really inhibit the resin's curing.
Okay.
Here, let's go ahead and mask up.
They are a little bit oily, but it's
it should be fine. It should be fine.
So we're using it for practical purposes and impractical purposes.
And this is just to create a holder. I love how fast that is.
It's so nice. And then you just kind of paint it on.
I'll let you. Should I get the lead acid brush?
Yeah, I'll grab the
Yeah.
acid brush. There we go.
Thank you. Just gonna brush it around. Drips don't matter because we're just gonna cure them. We get a nice even coating. The fun thing is you can then take these and turn them into stuff. We've mostly turned them into jewelry or just like trinkets to have on a desk. One time we tried to cover a chicken nugget. Yeah. That did not work.
It did not work.
It did.
Off-gassed.
It did initially, and then it off-gassed and burst through the resin.
The McNugget wanted to be free.
It did. It had a will to survive. Thank you. Little rotisserie here.
I love this. What? Okay, right. I guess the minute because you like preserving organic things, as soon as you found UV resin, you were like, let's do some junk food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. Any dry spots we're missing? I think I might have got a pretty good coating.
Let's see if I can twist this out. Oh, so
Yeah.
I lost a little bit.
But then I'll just hold it here.
Yeah.
You can go back in and just repair.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Now, you've printed with UV resin before, because that's what a lot of these printers just don't look at this. Frankly.
Yeah, so a standard resin printer is printing with an ultraviolet sensitive resin.
Exactly. Or photosensitive in some ways. Like different wavelengths are, like different resins cure under different wavelengths, depending. But you know that when you print on your UV printer, it comes out pretty nice, but you need to wash it. Yeah. And then you do a last final cure. Yeah. That's kind of what we use this for.
I've got to print baking in our drying oven, form drying oven, right this second, actually.
So that's what we use like a UV light like this for. Because like after you fix it with the big, more powerful one, it's nice to kind of post-cure it, because then that takes it like all the rest of the way. Yeah. And I like these that shoot from both directions, the top and bottom.
Yeah, you don't need to flip it.
This is a nail dryer, yeah? I love it, man. I get a lot of my best shop supplies from Beauty Supply. Sanding sticks, little tweezerman tweezers, right? Yeah. Like all sorts of wonderful stuff.
Yeah. But I think that like we just kind of wanted to demonstrate this encasing technique, because it's not just practical for food. You can like encase all sorts of things, like a flower, or like nature, or I don't know, anything.
Dude,
this is a demonstration.
Anything that's not too wet, you can put resin on there.
But yeah, I hope all of these demonstrations gave you some thoughts.
Dude, no, I am literally ordering some of this right now. Rapid Set Total Boat UV Cure, because I can instantly see how this can slot into my process. I'm so grateful to you guys. That are so awesome.
I'm so grateful for you having us.
Love your channel, love your output, love your experimentation, and how game you guys are. Thank you.
And you're a huge inspiration for us too. So I'm so glad to be here.
It means a lot to be here.
Oh my God, Evan and Caitlin, everybody! All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much for watching that video. I've got a merch pitch for you. I'm going to keep it really quick. We have a brand new Demerit Patch 5-pack at tested-store.com. And these are the 5 you can get if you buy it right now. You've got the I hung it off level patch, the I built the chair upside down patch, the I stuck the duct tape to itself. Oh, my personal favorite. I hit my thumb with the hammer and I stuck a stapler in my thumb. Get yours now, tested-store.com.